Good morning, everybody, and welcome to week 2 of our course. Thanks for turning in everything so far. For most of you, there are a few that are still lingering out there, but trust as we move along the course, you will get to it. For the collab session, there is none this week, but next Monday you will be tuning in again, and at that point you'll be sharing some of what you did this week. Now this week, we really start moving into the research side of the course, especially during the second half of the week. So your big project this week is what's called the cinematic montage. You'll be presenting what you did next Monday, or what you're thinking of doing even next Monday. I'll create a separate tutorial video on the cinematic montage, and there is a PowerPoint that you can use. Essentially, the cinematic montage is using the consumer camera as a research method. And for some of your projects where you're highly visual, it could become a very good field tool. But that'll be a separate tutorial. This week also, you will have 3 guest lectures will be posted. One of them from Dr. Paredes in history and archival research, which is how to use previous history of a place to understand the place today. I'll be posting another video on surveys and the continuum concept of research, and you'll get a bit of an expansion on this idea from there to now. But Dr. Paredes on history and archival. Some of your projects that have back history to them, this will be a very useful tool, especially as you adapt your annotated bibliography and turn it into a literature review with information about your actual neighborhood. So that's archival. The second one is from Dr. Hare from psychology, and she will be talking about ethics. This relates distinctly to 2 assignments that you have. One of them, your informed consent. With the informed consent, essentially what you will do is take this template I already have there that I used at one point back in the day, adapt it to your project. I want you to understand the practice of informed consent and how to use them. Now, you may not formally use them for your project this semester, but I just want you to have been in the practice. It's good for us to know. Some of you get involved later on in life in research projects, then we'll have an understanding what we mean by informed consent. You also will be doing a CITI certification. Some of you might already have done this in the past, but I would guess most of you have not. It is an actual professional certification that will be very useful to put on your resume or your CV, especially those of you who are going to be teaching healthcare services, social services, dealing with surveys of vulnerable people groups, and so on. CITI certification ensures that you are rated and know about human subject research. Really important topic. You'll be introduced to things such as human subjects, animal research, some videos about previous research that was not done effectively, of which you'll be watching some of the video links this week. The Stanford case study, Tuskegee, and Zimbardo. But also you will be introduced to an institutional review board, which is at every campus and college has one, or large institutions have them, to manage what research is actually being done to make sure vulnerable people groups are taken care of. Also this week, you will be doing a VALS survey. The VALS survey is a consumer-based survey that comes to us from social science back in the day, but has evolved into the most used survey for the development of shopping malls in the United States. It became really important in the 1990s, and so you'll participate in VALS, and they've created these archetypes of what people are like. You'll be able to test to see whether the VALS survey does a good job or a bad job based on you doing the survey. So it's kind of a fun way, but it gets into as a very well-crafted survey that has been done millions of times, but I thought it was a good way for us to get involved in that. Those of you who are going to be in business, architecture, construction sciences, the VALS type surveys are very much precursor to these projects being approved, because they help us to understand what type of people will perhaps buy our buildings, what type of people will shop at our retail stores, and so what type of a development should we have. So those of you in the construction services, VALS is good to understand, or design, architecture, all that kind of thing. Then you will construct a 5-question survey. I'll be creating a separate tutorial about this, so make sure you watch it. Doing a good survey is not just thinking of 5 good questions. It has to be very carefully thought out, that it's not biased, that it's open, and that you're asking good questions. So I'll be giving a tutorial on this, of how they work, and then how the Likert scale has become the most used of these. And you've done many Likert scales, but some of these Likerts are very poorly done. Other ones are really excellent. So you will be creating a 5-question survey. So watch for that. And then you will have a 3rd guest lecture related to surveys with Dr. McDonald, comes to us from macroeconomics, and she opens up next week's work on quantitative, where you have to count something in this course for your paper. Some of you will actually use a survey to count something. So watch Dr. McDonald's guest lecture, and then get into next week, you'll be getting into actually the practice work on the Excel. So we have the surveys as the start of your quantitative, but there's also a qualitative survey element that also will relate, that you'll see in the actual tutorial itself. So the biggest project then this week is the cinematic montage. Now, in thinking about the cinematic montage, one way I've decided to apply it was to show you a video by VALS that I think was very well done on gaining initiation rights. For one, I don't think you would ever dare to do this video. I still wonder how they pulled it off, but it is really well done as a photographic essay, really, a video, really, about a certain people group and them talking about it. I want you to watch this video with a very analytical mind, and then you're going to respond to it as far as what you see, the minutiae of the details, and so on. Don't just say, oh, that was terrible, or wow, I didn't know about gangs. That's simplistic. Think about it in research terms. Watch the video in research terms. To tune that up, you'll be watching a couple of other videos. In your syllabus, you will see Facebook, Humans of New York, Help series. A great, cool little video introduces you to humans of New York who've lived and breathed off of photography as a research method. So that'll set you up for the larger project this week, which is cinematic montage, which I'll describe in a separate tutorial along with its PowerPoint. So there you have it. Welcome to week 2. The course is starting to race along, so don't let this thing sit. Be methodical on it like you have. I'll be on the email Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday mornings for live email, and I'm available pretty much all the other times as well for your questions in regards to the course. All right. Have a great day, everybody.